don't blame him for being worried, but he was going insane, and I was trying to defend Max. He wasn't a zombie yet. He was okay for the time being. He still had some time left, but Stanley didn't want to hear it, and he got really crazy with his bat. I had to take it away from him.
Kaylee takes my bat. So that's reason number one why I had to use the gun. I didn't want to use the gun. Nobody wants, no good person wants to use a gun in any situation, except for maybe that redneck. That's why we didn't give the gun to the redneck.
Ken came back and he said there was a radio and there was hope that the military was outside nearby. Maybe we could make it, but Stanley was still freaked out about Matt being bitten, and he pulled a gun on him.
You know, I pulled a gun out because he needs to be stopped before he goes completely crazy and starts killing all of us. You know, I had not only my best interest in mind, but Kaylee and Ken, right? You got to think about us. We were all in this together. So I was trying to save everybody.
And Ken was trying to calm him down, and Stanley just lost it.
Ken shows up, spooks the crap out of me. What an idiot. You don't walk into a room, somebody holding a gun, yelling.
And then he turned on Matt for no good reason and just shot him in the stomach.
I admit I shot Ken, and Ken was not a zombie. I feel bad about that, I do.
The other problem is that we know one of these kids is a murderer because he's confessed to that. So who's to say that he didn't actually kill the other 3 students?
I didn't get Matt square on, and I don't know. In the heat of the moment, I don't know what I was thinking. I mean, I was thinking about survival, but I ran from that place.
Stanley freaked out and left. He tried to fight his way out of the zombies by himself. Everything was just exploding at that point. People were bashing in the windows, and me and Matt decided to try and get out by ourselves. We saw Stanley trying to fight through the zombies. We were looking through the cemetery, and Matt decided to lead the zombies off by himself, and he told me to just leave him. And he pushed me away from him and told me to go, and I had no choice. So I left him, and he led the zombies off in the opposite direction. And I went with Stanley, and we heard this great explosion.
We were fortunate enough to revisit the site of the events with Stanley Kotek.
I ran out of bullets real fast, but yeah, I was just running. I had to get out of there, but there was almost no way to get out clean shot. I ran into Kaylee, and we heard the explosion, but we didn't really know until later what went down. I didn't really know that he had that. I don't know where he got it, really. I mean, I know now, but I had no idea that he would do something like that.
The 2 remaining survivors were joined by Thorson, who led them to safety at the edge of the National Guard's quarantine zone.
We didn't have much of a choice but to work together at that point. We just made a run for it.
A more prudent and more beneficial tack to take, to look at the evidence in front of you and to be honest about what's happened, so that you can be more certain not only of preventing something like this from happening again, but also it's more to honor the dead, to be really blunt, to honor the memories and the lives of the people who suffered because of this unfortunate situation.
We are greatly indebted to these 3 survivors for sharing their stories. However, given the contradictory nature of the narratives provided, and that there are a great many other witnesses who refuse to come forward, we may never know the truth about the Geneva incident.
The incident was unfortunate. However, just like I was under contract then, I'm also in contract now. And I feel as a scientist, I just have to stand neutral sometimes and just move on.
Whatever began this wave of violence, the very first incidents were reported at Geneva's very own Hobart and William Smith colleges. Eyewitness News emailed the school's president, Mark Guerin, for his take on the situation. In his response, Mr. Guerin assured us that while the colleges would never endorse the kinds of attacks as they've been described, attacks he called an affront to the liberal arts spirit, he says that claims of cannibalism have been highly exaggerated. If anything, he went on, they would technically be classified as predatory assaults. We were also told that the girl who first reported these attacks has been sent home to her home state, and whether or not this has anything to do with a new wave of reports that has now come out of Avogadro, Minnesota, we cannot say at this point in time. As always, we'll keep you posted on any new developments should they arise. For Eyewitness News, I'm Claude Bailey. Stan?